Welcome to TTF. I'm Rocky. I'm joined with James. Today we're just gonna do a quick little breakdown of what we're upcoming week three. We had our weekly picks as well. Feel free to check that out in our previous video. If not, we're gonna talk about it regardless. Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Monday Night Football. Quick recap of week three, James. New York and Dallas, dude. What a shootout, huh?
That was crazy. And let's give some shout outs to the Dallas kicker. He made
Bro.
what was it, a 64-yard field goal put into overtime?
64 yards. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's outrageous.
That's insane. That's insane. And to like put the game into overtime running a draw, which is crazy just to get to a 64-yard field goal knowing you'll make it is insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's crazy.
ballsy call.
Very, very. And then even with like, I mean, Detroit and Chicago, man, like a 50 burger, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
Yeah,
gotta drop the toaster. You don't need to drop the
yeah.
toaster,
Detroit
dude.
fans, turn off the bathtubs, put the toasters back in the cabinet. There's no reason for it right now.
We're
We
all good.
we looked like we were back into prime time Ben Johnson offense. It looked like
Rolling.
we didn't even lose a step. We were
Yeah.
in the stadium chanting fuck Ben Johnson at the end of the game, which is wild.
Dude,
Wild trolling
crazy
behavior.
shit. Bro, anarchy, dog. Oh, and then
Yeah.
even afterwards, I'm sure I don't know if you've seen that video. It's Ben Johnson and he's walking through everybody and goes up to Dan Campbell, quick like shake hands, walks away, and there's like Jared Goff just trying to like catch him. And he's like, "Hey, hey, hey," looks at him, just waves at him and just keeps going. It's
Yep.
like,
Yep, I
"Urgh."
did see that. Did you see the press conference with Ben Johnson talking about Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down? And
Oh, no,
yeah,
what do you say?
we were way in the lead already, and we went for it on fourth down, and basically
Salty.
asked the question to Ben Johnson, "How did you feel about that?" And he lost his mind on the reporter, and it's just
Bro.
like, it's Dan Campbell. What do you expect? That is the Detroit Lions. That's what they do. And I was like, wow, he is salty. So I
Dang.
wonder if there's some low key beef between Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell.
Campbell, maybe, maybe.
It's
Oof.
very interesting for how he reacted to it.
Juicy, juicy details. Well, that plays into week three. Here we are. Dallas and Chicago. We're in Soldier Field. Man, any takeaways that kind of surprised you from the Chicago game that like maybe you were surprised that Chicago did well?
That they did well. Honestly, they didn't do much well overall. I mean, when you have a 50 burger dropped on you, nothing looks good. But
True.
DeAndre Swift, I think he deserved more carries through the game. He was tearing up Detroit here and there on some of his run plays. So there's a good possibility of seeing DeAndre Swift being used more in the run game.
Okay.
Uh, the biggest takeaway that I found was how bad Chicago's O line is, even
Ooh,
after they bragged all offseason how they upgraded.
get better.
It did not look very upgraded at all.
Eesh, eesh. See, and like some key points I wrote down for our game, our upcoming game is 3 points. I have three of them. And the first one is Caleb Williams running. Can we stop him from running? Because, Jalen Hurts did it. Uh Russell Wilson didn't do it because he didn't need to do it. I think our coverage was just really bad. We'll get into that as well. But, Caleb Williams, Dallas always struggles with these mobile guys who can just run and just dip and dip and they feel the pressure and they just use their legs for a first down. That's something we can't really contain. And especially with Matt Eberflus or DC, it looks like he's not changing anything. He's keeping it all the same. It's a little tough. He's playing as if maybe we still have number 11 on the team and we don't. So therefore, there's no pass rush there. Um,
Yep.
we have to bring in blitzes. But if Caleb Williams starts running on us, I think we're gonna have an issue. And don't get me wrong, it's possible. But what makes me think he's not gonna be rushing as crazy is we couldn't stop the deep ball, man. No, given Malik Neighbors is Malik Neighbors, right? But like Wan'Dale Robinson did it twice.
Hey, that's a Nebraska boy.
Hey,
He
hey,
played
hey.
he played for Nebraska for two or
Woo.
three years. He might have transferred to Kentucky and got drafted out of Kentucky, but he
Yeah.
is a Nebraska
The
boy.
always remember the roots, man.
Yep, yep.
I didn't know that. That's actually that eases the pain a bit. We won anyways, so I guess that's still cool. But
Yeah, but
see,
yeah, I'm sure you expected Dallas to have a lot better game. Mostly, it seems like you guys kind of played from behind in a lot of the game.
yeah, exactly. And it's just, Russell Wilson knew he could just throw that, he could bomb it deep because Matt Eberflus is running a basic Tampa 2, and we have safeties who are physical. They play in the box. Donovan Wilson had our strong safety had 5, 6 sacks last year in the box playing on the line of scrimmage. Why is he free roaming in a cover three when he's a single high? He doesn't have he got some grandma biscuit hips. He can't move that fast. You know what I mean? That's not his
Right.
MO. That's not what he does. And so it's a little disappointing seeing Matt Eberflus not using his players to their scheme, which is kind of frustrating because it's like, if you play them to how they are, just I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe we'll figure it out as the season progresses. But one thing that I think the Bears can do, Caleb Williams especially, is testing that deep pass, man. New York did it successfully. Why run the ball when we can just you can't stop the pass. We're just gonna bomb it on you. And Roma Dunze and Caleb Williams are finally connecting, and I think they're growing. Like their
Yes,
chemistry together is
yes.
finally
They
clicking.
they definitely did have a very good game of connecting with each other. And the other thing I did notice that they were pretty good at is Caleb Williams taking his 3 steps back throw. He throws as soon as he gets that 3rd foot down. He's into that quick pass. So and he was tearing up Detroit a little bit in the beginning of the game doing that.
Mhm.
But once we kind of started locking down from there, he started struggling. So it'd be interesting to see if they keep that 3 step drop and just let him rip from that, or let the wide receivers get farther downfield and start trying to make big plays.
Exactly. And man, it's just so tough. And maybe, Caleb Williams isn't Russell Wilson. I remember in the last video we're like Russell Wilson's 36,
Yeah, yeah.
So like this dude, I'm pretty sure he's seen cover two, basic cover two, cover three fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So maybe Eberflus is banging, and keep in mind this is kind of his revenge game in a sense. So it's like, is he just gonna throw basic shit at Caleb because he thinks Caleb's inexperienced will play into the factor he can't read it correctly, or we have Jadavion Clowney come starting this week, which is
That is one of the big downsides to Caleb was he did not know how to read defenses coming out of the draft. He was
yeah
criticized about that. I
yeah.
don't know how much progress they have made with that. I imagine they made a little bit if Ben Johnson is giving 3 steps back and letting him rip right off that third
Boom.
step. So he must be reading it a little bit. It's just he still might have troubles with disguises. So I would wonder if Dallas would start throwing disguises out there to try to trick him.
See, like, and they didn't do that with Russ. They didn't do that with Jalen. And those are two Super Bowl. Both of those fuckers won a Super Bowl. It's like, no
I
way in
mean,
hell
they're
he's
they're
gonna do
both
it.
they're both very good quarterback. Well, one's a one. Well, damn,
One's
one
washed, and then the other
one.
one can't
Yeah,
play
one
quarterback.
one is a good veteran, and the other one is
Can't
just
do
a
it.
tush push. You know,
Yeah.
so
And then that kind of led into my last point for Dallas was the pass rush with, we got Clowney coming in, and we have, we have help in a sense. Because I really think if Dallas's pass rush can play better this week, um, I think maybe that basic cover two or that cover three with Dono up top, like with them biscuit hips, maybe if we get people moving, that can cover for our bad secondary or with our bad corners. Kari Elam, Trayvon Diggs isn't playing 100%. Like if that pass rush can hit home with four dudes or even just pressure, I think we'll be all right in Chicagoland, man. Like
what about the
Dak.
offense? Is there anything you want to see out of the offense?
I think we're gonna establish the run game. I think we're gonna win this through Javonte Williams. I don't think this is gonna be a big George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb game. I think this is gonna be them. Think about it, bro. We played Philadelphia, which defensive line was, Jalen Carter wasn't playing, but regardless, they're physical. They're
You
very
had two
physical.
touchdowns out of Williams in that game.
We did, and you look at New York, dog. I think New York might be the best O-line, I mean defensive line we might play this year. All four dudes are like border all first round picks.
Yep.
Thibodeau, Burns, Lawrence, and then Carter. Like all these dudes, and Dexter Lawrence is number one at his position. You know what I mean? Like you have to double team him. So I don't think we're gonna get that intensity from Chicago. I don't think we will. And I honestly think that I think we'll be okay. I don't think we're going to be put in a position where Dak's going to have to sling it 50 sometimes to CD and Pickens. I think if we run the ball, just feed Javonte and then give it to Sanders for those quick runs. And then if we hit third and short, second and short, let Dak fucking, zip it. And I think we'll be okay on offense. I don't really have anything that's surprising me. I made a video like 3 years ago about Chicago, which is hilarious. And it has, if I'm sure you can go on the channel and see this. Um, Go ahead and watch it again. I'm just kind of dogging on Chicago apparently in the comment section. This time, hey, guess what? I still think the defense is terrible. And now you guys, the people Eddie Jackson's gone, Jalen Johnson's hurt, Khalil Mack's gone. Like, who's in Chicagoland on that defense?
Montez Sweat.
Yeah,
But
yep.
that's about it
I think they got
anymore.
him from the Wizards, right? From
Yep.
Washington. We
Yep.
beat up on that dude every year. You know what I mean? Like we beat up. I mean, tripping.
So
So
he'll be used to it.
he'll get used to it. I'm not too concerned in that sense of it. But I do think that if they can limit our run game, then okay, that opens up to pass the ball. I don't even think they can stop Dak Prescott him slinging it. I don't think they want Dak to sling it. I don't think that they want to try to
Yeah, I
prevent
think
it.
that should be how when Dak did the best during his career, and it was early on, was when he had the 1-2 punch with Ezekiel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you could have
Easily.
Zeke get you that 4 or 5 hard yards, and on first down, second down opened up the whole playbook for him. And it was, if he didn't like what he's seen, hey Zeke, here's the ball.
Which he would get like 4 yards, 5 yards, and then
Yep.
if it was a negative play, a gain like loss of four, he would turn it into zero, gain of like just dead play, which is
Yep.
insane. Um, yeah, I agree. I agree. And don't get me wrong, Dak had his moments with New York too, where he just like started slow, and I think that first quarter with the 4th and 1 where they tried to jump the ball over.
Yep.
I think that was a little rough, but once it came down to like, hey, dude, we need you to put the team on the back and we're gonna win this game through you. And he delivered. I think he delivered. And regardless, man, like our run defense has gotten so much better. Well, yeah, yeah, of course it's gotten better because they're throwing the ball 500 yards a game.
Yeah.
They're not running
Yeah,
the ball at
exactly.
you.
Yep.
Like no wonder
Yep.
it's gotten better.
Yeah, it's a lie in the stats right there.
Yeah,
It's not true that
it's
their run
insane.
game has or their run defense has gone better. It's just because teams don't respect you on, throwing.
Throwing the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Dallas winning. But anyways, that leads into our another segment is Detroit and Baltimore Monday Night Football. Man, how do you feel about like first off, do you think the Lions offense will continue rolling into Baltimore?
I think the Lions offense keeps rolling, but not as good as when we played against Chicago. I think I think we're still gonna see anywhere to upper 20 points. Detroit is gonna score, but I I don't think the defense is gonna do that great, and that's mainly because we struggle against a running type uh, quarterback. So it'll be
Lamar,
Yeah, it'll be
I call him.
interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the defense puts up. I expect Anzalone to be playing a lot of spy while we bring Jack Campbell up through the middle on blitzes. So I think that's how they're going to game plan it, mostly since we run a lot of man. It kind of leaves our linebackers to be aggressive and also be conservative in the idea that we can keep Anzalone. Just his whole game plan might be you're a quarterback spy today, dude. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing.
You're gonna
And
need
with
one, yeah.
I mean, I think if we can have the defensive backs hold up against the wide receivers and we could keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket. I know Lamar Jackson's been working on being a better quarterback in the pocket, and that's what he wants to be. But at the end of the day, if Aiden is getting there off the edge or Marcus Davenport coming off the edge, you know, Lamar's gonna run. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna need Anzalone to come step up and take him down, and that's the big thing. Is that's what makes Lamar great. Is he gets out of a sack and then runs down the field for 20 yards when it should have been a sack with any other quarterback.
And too, another thing that opened up this year that's like, dude, last week against the who do the Ravens played? They played somebody. But
The
dude,
Bills, they played the Bills in Cleveland.
okay, that was last week with the Browns. Derrick Henry didn't do anything last week,
Nope.
and Lamar just
Nope.
popped off. But he threw the ball. They were successful throwing the football, which is crazy. So I think this year is a little different. Usually they like that Zay Flowers type player doesn't have that success, and this year they're popping off,
Yeah,
man.
the
And
wide receivers are really popping off
they
for
are.
Baltimore when it used to
DeAndre
always
Hopkins
be.
is scoring touchdowns. Like he's not doing much he's doing all red zone work, which is beautiful. Like,
Well, that's why you bring DeAndre Hopkins in is you get in the red zone. He's a physical dude that can go up and catch these
strong,
balls.
strong hand,
Critical third down. He
banana
comes
hand,
in.
bro. Just
Yeah,
fucking big ass hands that just catch anything in their radius. It's
he
insane.
he reminds me a lot of what Larry Fitzgerald was at the end of
Yeah,
his career. I think
dude.
that's a very comparable wide receiver,
100.
compared DeAndre Hopkins in this part of his career.
Dude, shout out D Hop, man. I think he had one year where he went like what was it? He didn't have one drop, and it was like 130 catches or something. It
I
was
want to say that was his second to last year with the
it was in
Texans.
Houston. Yeah.
So it
It
had to
was
be like
something nuts.
2019, 2020, around
Yeah.
then.
Something crazy. And it was insane. It was insane. Um but yeah, like and also too, like how do you feel about like Derrick Henry? Do you propose that Derrick Henry is a bad matchup? Do you think maybe you can handle the Henry and Lame are like
Well,
duo?
we do have DJ Reader in the middle.
Mhm.
So I think it comes out to what Baltimore team are we playing? Are we playing a run team? Are we playing a passing team? Are we playing a balanced team? And I think we're not going to figure that out till probably towards the end of the second quarter. Kind of let the game play out, figure it out. And that's the whole thing about Detroit is as long as they can keep the offense going and still make it a competitive game going into half, I think we'll see a competitive game. But if Detroit's offense can't keep up, it's going to look a lot like the Green Bay and Detroit game. And I
Gotcha.
think that's what put us behind the ball in Green Bay is the offense couldn't move. And honestly, if you have the defense out there all game, it doesn't look good. It's not fun for defense to be out there all game. They're gonna be tired.
Yeah, oh yeah. Hell yeah. Feel you there, bro. Feel you there. All right. Final thoughts on Detroit, Baltimore?
Final thoughts. Let's see. I think the big thing is gonna be getting Jameer Gibbs back into the offense. That's what really separated us. Well,
Jameer.
Jameer is what kind of sparked the offense.
Right,
And
right.
then Amon Ra with his 3 touchdown catches is what
Yeah.
really
Oh,
is
dude.
what is great. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but I think Jameer Gibbs, he had a couple key plays at the beginning of the game where it was like, oh, that's Jameer there.
Uh-huh.
He's so fast, so elusive, and you're like, it looks like the Lions offense. And I think that's what sparked the offense to get back into rhythm. So I think if we get Gibbs going again, it'll just set that offense into rhythm and you don't got to worry about what happened against Green Bay.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right. Well, we'll close it off with our weekly picks. For everyone keeping track. James is on a run. Holy smokes, dude. So you were last week, you went 12-4, I went 6-10, and then we had the
Yep.
Thursday night game, so 13-4, 7-10. Dude, this week you went 14-2, dog. That is insane. So with
And I
all the
was robbed
calcul
on one of them. I was robbed on the Indy and Denver game.
Indy and
I was
Denver, one,
robbed.
yeah, 1 point, 1 point, and then Pitt and Seattle because freaking the Seahawks. I was more skeptical. I was more underdogs once again. Underdog tell the story. But James at 26-6, and I'm at 17-15, over 500, baby. All right, so we're gonna pull up this week's picks, and tomorrow leads us with Buffalo and or Miami in Buffalo.
Jeez.
Well, you got
Jesus
Josh Allen's in prime
Christ.
time too. Josh Allen only pops off in prime time football.
And they're in Buffalo?
They're in Buffalo.
Jesus Christ.
It's a
I
slaughter
didn't I
fest.
did I didn't know Josh Allen was Japanese. He's about to kill these Dolphins, dude.
Dude. Dude, all right, cool. Buffalo. Um Bengals Vikings.
Ooh. Two backup quarterbacks playing, right?
Carson Wentz and Jake
Jake
Browning.
Browning. Yeah. Uh Bengals.
Go Minnesota. I think Jay Jettas is back, the veteran quarterback. He's gonna fucking
It's
sling
gonna
it
be awesome watching Chase and Jettas go at each other again.
again, right?
That's awesome.
Texans Jaguars division matchup.
Texans, they get their first win for the season.
No man, I got I'll go Jags. I'll go Jags.
Damn,
Uh,
Texans 0-3
I
in
think
your
they
eyes.
go 0-3, and those are my Super Bowl
Yeah,
parlay
I was
dudes.
about to say, wasn't that your
It
Super
was
Bowl pick?
Houston. Okay, Colts Titans.
Colts. They still
Yeah,
haven't punted this season.
dude, you see Daniel Jones' nickname, bro?
Yeah,
Indiana.
Indiana Jones.
Dude, that's
Dude, badass.
cold, bro. All right. Raiders Wizards.
Give me the Wizards.
Yeah, I got the Wizards. Rams Eagles.
Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna go LA because I hate Philadelphia. Atlanta Carolina.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I think I can go ATL. Pittsburgh and the Patriots. Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, right? Yeah. Packers Browns.
Packers.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Packers. Well, the underdog in me wants to go Cleveland, but we'll go Green Bay. Jets Bucks.
Bucks.
Dude, not giving up on my Jets, man. My Jets, baby.
Well, I
Uh,
know. Is it Justin Fields still in concussion protocol, or did he
I'm
get
not too
off it?
sure, but I know he is in concussion protocol. T-Rev was telling me he might play this week because he's on his he had Burrow as his quarterback and then Fields as his backup.
Well, now he has Justin Herbert since I
Oh,
traded
he did the
Justin Herbert
trade.
to him.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Broncos, Chargers.
Uh, Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers. This is for you, T-Rev. Saints, Seahawks.
Jesus
Seattle. I
Christ.
got Seattle on this one.
Yeah, that's Seattle. Not very good matchups
Nah.
this week.
Dallas, Chicago.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. Um, Cardinals, Niners.
Who's the
I,
backup for the Niners?
I got San Francisco in this game. I think it's Mac
Yeah.
Jones still.
I'll take the Niners then.
Niners. Okay. Chiefs, Giants. Sunday Night Football.
Chiefs. God, they gave Sunday Night Football to that game.
Chief, dude, yeah, they're both 0 and 2, so they're trying to find if the loser will go 0 and 3. If Kansas City cannot go
Who,
0 and
who
3.
who still sat there and said, you know what? The Giants need a night game. Need a Sunday night game. It's
Tell them
so
against
dumb.
Kansas City. Cam Scatabo. Detroit, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You got Detroit losing?
Yep. Yep.
What?
I still think Lamar Jackson's gonna have a heyday with getting outside the pocket and running on us. I think we're still gonna struggle against that. Mostly since we play so much man. It's the second we lock up on those receivers and he sees that and he has an open running lane and he only got to make Alzoni miss, dude. That's all I would game plan is to throw the ball, and the second where I don't see it throw, I'm getting outside the pocket and running for 20 yards.
Bro. Motown, I got you, baby. Detroit City. I got Detroit. I'll go
Yeah, I
for
must be
all of
the
them.
worst Detroit fan right now, huh?
Dude, last week, this week, bro. Hey,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's all right. Good luck. We'll see how we do tomorrow. Everybody, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in, keeping track. Leave your comments below. Follow if you have any picks you want to drop down for us, hit the like button, show your buddies, show your family, if anybody you like football, just talking. We're gonna try to work going forward, going with like more videos during the week. We tried releasing one earlier in the week, but we had a mix up of schedules and such. But going forward, that is one thing we're trying to do more of. Uh, thank you for having us, James, as always. It's a great show,
Yep.
and you guys have a good one.
Peace.